OpenBSD is supported in Microsoft Azure Virtual Machines. I'm going to show you how to create an OpenBSD image that can be used to build OpenBSD virtual machines in Azure. Here I've got an OpenBSD version 6.1 server running in Hyper-V. This is a standard installation created by downloading the ISO image from the OpenBSD website, booting the Hyper-V VM from the image, and then performing a straightforward installation with default values. This server is already configured to use DHCP, but if it wasn't, I could use this command to enable it. I need to configure a serial console, which I do with these two commands that update the boot.conf file. Then I configure package installation. Next, I need to install and configure prerequisites for the Azure agent. This will install Python 2.7, OpenSSL, and Git. Once they're all installed, I run these commands to set up some links. Next, I use the git clone command to download the Azure agent files onto the server, and then I run the setup script to install and start the agent. Once that's done, I can use the ps command to check that the agent is running. Finally, I run the wa agent command with the deprovision user and force parameters. This will prepare the server to become a base image by removing SSH key pairs, disabling the root password, and removing other configuration items. At this point, the server is prepared for imaging, so we can shut it down. The next thing we need to do is convert the Hyper-V VHDX image to the VHD file format used by Azure Virtual Machines. We can do this in PowerShell with the convert VHD command. Now we're ready to set up Azure to deploy this virtual hard disk as an image. We'll use the Azure CLI to complete these steps. We need to create a resource group where we'll keep all of the resources related to this. We need somewhere to store our image file, so we'll create an Azure storage account in our resource group. The next few commands will need to know the access key details for the storage account we just created. So to keep things simple, we use the AZ storage account keys list command and save its output in a variable. The query at the end of this string will ensure that only the value of the first key is returned, and specifying the output type as TSV will strip unneeded quotation marks. So now the storage key variable contains our key. Let's create a container to store our VHD image file. And finally, we can use the AZ storage blob upload command to copy our VHD image file up to the Azure storage account. Depending on the size of the image file that you created, this could take some time. And we're done. Now, all of the resources we need are in Azure. So I'll switch to the Azure portal and use the Cloud Shell to deploy an OpenBSD based virtual machine. We simply need this one command. We're providing the name of the resource group that we created earlier, a name for the new virtual machine, the details of the image file that now resides in our Azure storage account. This parameter indicates that we're not using managed disks for this, and we tell Azure that this will be a Linux virtual machine, and provide a username and an SSH public key. This takes a few minutes to complete, but once it's done, our OpenBSD Azure virtual machine is ready to use. The IP address of the virtual machine is provided in the output of the VM create command, but if you missed it, you can get the address using the VM list IP addresses command. And now we can SSH into our OpenBSD server, and that's it. We now have an OpenBSD virtual machine running in Azure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter for more.